Welcome to Anxiety Pool.
Yeah?
Good morning, Vietnam! I think it cut off like half of it, but
I mean, I literally didn't hear a single part of it because of Discord.
damn. Yo, Good Morning Vietnam. I just watched that the other.
Oh, I could figure it out.
Yeah.
I love the how you rocked back and forth in the chair. That was needed.
Yeah, Robin Williams, great movie. If you haven't seen it,
Rest in peace, Robin.
we're recording today's episode 39 in the morning, because we're coffeeed up. Yes.
Yep.
We had
round 2 of this.
Yeah, we had quite the weekend. Needed an extra day to recover, so we got an extra 12 hours under our belt before today's episode.
And I still feel just as shitty.
I feel fine.
I feel like a regular morning, just minus the coffee.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
If talking like recovery from our weekend, yeah, I feel fine at this point.
Yes.
That the whole pretty much every side effect that came from that experience is gone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I
don't feel groggy from that.
Right.
I just feel groggy from sleep.
Yeah. I did have a dream about nitrous last night.
Oh boy. All
That's
right. Episode 39. I'm Nick.
Yeah,
That's Mason, by the way. Let's go ahead and get into it. What you got cooking? What's on the cranium?
I don't know. We'll just go right into it, because this is what's at least on my mind. This weekend, Nick and I had a shroom trip. It was Nicholas's very first shroom trip.
Woo.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We tried some Amazonians or something. We tried a tea brewing process that I've never done before.
Oh, that's fucking hot.
The tea was great. I mean, to be honest, it tasted like okay, and then it was literal zero nausea or like dizziness.
Yeah.
Like everything
it came on. I mean, I know it was still like 45 minutes or something like that, but it felt fast.
I think it was really fast. I feel like legitimately after about 30 minutes, I could feel the body high coming on.
That's weird, because like I barely got a body high. Like mine was all mental.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember if I told you that or not. It was like all mental and visual. Like I didn't get anything from the body.
Or maybe I did later on, because I remember I was walking weird at some point.
I just like it felt like there were a couple extra pounds on each of my bones or something. And
each of your bones, all 400 some. I don't know. I fucking.
Yeah, you're right. Not a couple pounds. An ounce or two on each of my bones, I would suppose.
Yeah. I guess my legs felt heavy, but I mean, what's crazy about the experience for me was how fluid the conversation was. That's how bonkers it. And like I can't even remember what we fucking talked about. We just talked about stupid shit, but
Pretty
like
much.
we were on the same brainwave like the entire fucking time. There were no pauses.
Yeah.
At one point, my throat started hurting. We were talking so fucking much.
I will say I did get exhausted at one point. Like towards the end of the experience, you were just like ripping whippets.
Yeah, there was definitely a come down. And
I was like, yeah, you were sitting there just like ripping them, going back and back, and I think I had put my bottle down. I was just waiting, and then like. It was so funny, like to a point. It was so funny because I remember telling you like that I got worried about you. It started being like a balloon, and then you'd go back, and then you like do your little jiggle thing, and then you'd come back forward, and you'd be like, wow, like every time, and then it started becoming 2 balloons, and then you said. Something like you truly know your tolerance when you can fill up another balloon while the first one's hitting or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then you just kept going, and then it became like 3 balloons, and then it's like, oh man, you just kept going and going and going and going, Like it felt like it was putting me in a mental loop because I kept hearing. Wow. It's just like I just kept hearing it over and over and over, and then you finally put it down, and I was like, "Oh, thank God!" And then
I put it down because it was empty.
Oh yeah, you finished it. That seemed really quick, though. I really do think you might have also had one of the leaky bottles or something, and you just didn't notice it.
you. I mean, you did. I mean, you took like a fourth of it, or maybe half. I can't remember, but you like gave me that one when you went to go get your new one.
Yeah, I didn't think I took that much of it though. That's the problem with the big bottles is you never really know like if you're actually getting the amount that you're promised. So
Yeah.
for anybody who doesn't know, nitrous is like what they give you at the dentist when you're, having teeth work done. They call it hippie crack. They
So yeah, so anyone that knows that knows like where I was going, where we were going.
pretty much, yeah. That's one of the cool parts about like drugs in general is like it's one of those it's experiences that can't be related to, unless that other person has been in that mindset. And that's especially true with psychedelics. It's almost
Yeah.
impossible to describe the headspace of psychedelics, like the full headspace of psychedelics to somebody who's never tried them, because that feeling is just so different from anything we have or experience on a daily basis.
I feel like when you pitch a psychedelic to a normal person and say like you're gonna get visuals and shit like that, I think that's the line they don't want to cross.
You think so? I
Yeah,
think it's
'cause-
different per person. I think if
'cause-
you tell somebody that they're going to have extremely introspective feelings and thoughts and they're going to be looking deep into themselves, maybe that's what they don't want to do. Maybe they know they have some deep down trauma that's been plaguing them that they're not ready to confront.
That could be it. I mean, it could be person to person, like you
Or
said.
it's definitely person to person. Psychedelics, the entire experience of psychedelics is subjective. It's different for each person, and it's based on each person. Each person makes their own experiences. Like I was talking with the chick at the vape shop about psychedelics. I was telling you the girl who told me about the Whip It business plan.
Oh yeah.
and yeah, we were talking about about difference between shrooms and acid and what we experience, and she's like, yeah, I feel like for me acid, like I'm in the driver's seat of a car, whereas on shrooms I feel like I'm in a boat with no paddle, and I'm like, interesting. It's a cool comparison, right? And she's yeah, because in her experience, LSD, she finds it easier to steer the trip, to guide herself in a more positive direction. Whereas in shrooms, she feels like she's a lot more out of control. So for her, she feels like she wants to experience a psychedelic experience, but she still wants to be in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
I
is
mean, I felt pretty controlled when we did LSD.
yeah, I get it. But again, that was a small amount too.
Yeah.
You just did one.
Yeah.
The problem for me is psychedelics. The problem for me has always been allowing my mind to wander too far. Like because I have like so many different thoughts running through my head at like every given second of the day, I without a proper distraction will start to explore thoughts and possibilities in my mind, like just random stuff. Because I get those crazy intrusive thoughts like almost all the time. Like
What's your level of crazy?
it's not like, like let's say I'm sitting there talking to a customer at the shop, and I look down to grab like a plastic bag from under the counter. I glance over my gun, and a thought in my head pops up of me blasting the dude's head in front of me, right?
Nice.
Like little shit like
Yeah.
that. Your standard
Yeah.
intrusive thoughts, like driving down the highway, wondering what it would be like to just whip it over the median
Yes.
into all the other cars. And
you have thoughts like that while you're tripping?
yes, though that's my problem, is that those dark thoughts are always apparent in my mind, and so whenever I'm tripping, they come up, and I have to actively battle them.
You're like, no.
Right.
Stop it.
That's exactly what happened with the shrooms. Like I was trying to figure out So on that come up, I was uncomfortable. Something was making me uncomfortable, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like,
I feel like you were just really worried about me. Like
I
you
was.
didn't want me to have a bad experience.
I was also worried about that. That was the thought of my mind, in the back of my mind the whole time. But like, I was coming into it, like, obviously with the entire intention of beating my fear of psychedelics, because unfortunately my last few experiences with hard psychedelics have been rough. So I wanted to try and conquer that fear. And I kind of did,
Mm-hmm.
because I understood that, like, I don't know, for me, the conclusion ended up being that I think I'm only scared of, like, the come up. And
You're
I thi-
scared of that let go segment.
Right. I think once I get to that point, it's like the same thing with sweating. Like,
Yeah.
I'll sweat and I'll sweat and I'll sweat and I'll hate it until I get to a certain point where I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm already drenched. I think, yeah, maybe that's a very similar thing that happens with shrooms. Is like, but it's not like I was uncomfortable with what was happening. I was enjoying, like, the slight pattern recognition, the brighter colors. You know, I did kind of like the body high. It felt a little intrusive at some times, where, like, I
Yeah.
really just wanted to be precise.
Mhm.
Like, at one point we were playing golf and I was just like, oh, like, pass me the controller.
yeah.
Like, I was really just, like, dying over there. I remember I wedged my head in between the two couch cushions of the couch.
I remember that. By the way, added to it, I would totally play more golf, like at any time, because
Yeah.
we both have it on our PCs. Like I don't mind that game at all.
It's fun. It's fun to a
Yeah.
certain point. We should get, like, a big group of people together, do, like, a party game too. With,
We don't
like,
have friends. We
with
don't
True
we don't have friends
Collision.
like that.
I do. Josh has it. Mercy doesn't. Does he have it?
I don't think he does.
But I
no.
guarantee you the game is like $4.99 on G2A.
Probably. Oh god.
We don't endorse G2A because it might be illegal for legal reasons, but
It might be illegal for legal reasons.
yeah, some of those keys I'm sure are, like, stolen off the back of a truck or however the fuck that works.
Oh, okay.
Hacked out of, like, a key server or something. Because I have heard of people buying keys from those key shops, and then, like, months down the road, Steam or whatever platform they activated it on comes to them and says, like, hey, this is a fraudulent key. Unfortunately, this product's been deactivated on your account.
Your entire account's banned for eternity. Goodbye.
I don't think that would be ridiculous for them to
Yeah.
do something like that. Especially, like, me, my 11-year account, my squeaky clean account, no vac bans, nothing. I've got no shadow bans, no flags.
Yep.
I'm like one of the perfect Steam users. My newest Steam badge is amazing. It's a bunch of mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah. The summer sale Steam badge, I was checking it out. You could spend points to level it up, and I saw one of them was a mushroom and it was level 20, and I was like, yeah, that's meant to be. So I just leveled it all the way up.
Nice. I don't think I have many badges, to be honest.
Like we were talking about the other night, that's like what I miss from consoles is the achievements and the gamer score. I kind of like that
Yeah.
number, you know? Just that
Mhm.
singular number to signify how much work I've put into the games attached to my account.
I only have 7 badges, and they're not that
Shit.
cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I have 94.
I
Badges
have-
badges are how you level up your Steam account.
Oh, so it's like Steam achievements.
Kinda. Like, so you know how when you play a game, you'll get trading cards?
Yeah.
You turn those trading cards into the badges.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I
once you
have so many fucking trading cards.
So yeah, click your badge, go to your profile, click your badges button,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can sort by in progress, and it'll show you all of the badges you're the closest to at the top. You can literally click on it, scroll
Mhm.
down, and hit buy remaining cards on the market, and it's just like a one-click button that'll automatically buy the rest of the cards you need. And they're
Oh
usually
wow,
like
6 cents.
yeah, they're usually like 5 to 10 cents a card.
Yeah.
So you can just pop $5 in your account and just complete like 3 or 4 badges, 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, you know, depending on the value of
Yeah.
the cards.
The closest one to me completing is Chivalry 2.
Ah, nice.
And the badge I get is called Peasant.
Peasant. Yeah, you can like level up there's like usually 5 tiers of badges. For most of them. Most of my favorite games, I've like maxed them out. I just
On
placed.
like almost every game in my Steam account, I have 3 of 5.
Yeah, because that's I think what you get for playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
You only get 3 of them. I just created the Balloons TD6 badge.
Nice, nice. I need
Yeah.
to save every penny right now. So
When you create a yeah, so here you go, badge crafted. I got the Absolute Zero. I got Ice Monkey badge. I got a background, a Balloons Tower Defense background. I got a, Steam emoticon, and I got a 75% off Hinterhalt Steam coupon.
nice, a coupon.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Buy the remaining cards on the market. 25 cents.
Cool stuff.
Yeah,
I completely got
yeah.
off track because of that. I don't remember, but I do miss
We were-
consoles.
Yeah, we were still discussing shrooms. And
That's right.
your fear of. Did we agree it was letting go?
It must be surrendering.
Yeah, surrendering. I think my, not necessarily my secret, but my tactic to just accepting the come up and the trip is it will be stronger than I am. I think that's my tactic. Just like
Yeah.
let it take me. There's no point in fighting it because it will win.
Right. I mean, that's the problem. I know that too. Like
Yeah.
it's like I'm in this weird state where I literally know everything I need to do, but
Mhm.
I'm not doing it.
Maybe it's a sense of maybe you feel so prepared it has to go right. You feel pressure to make it work perfectly. That could be it.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's just like I think it's like the on edgeness of something is gonna happen is what
Yeah.
feels like it for me. It's like I'm expecting it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm constantly prepared. That
Hmm.
might be it. I don't know. It's an interesting compound, huh?
It is. I'm trying to think of like other theories that would make sense. But it's just
Yeah.
that's those are the only ones I can think of.
Right. It's hard. Those are the introspective kind of questions that can really only be answered by meditation or large amounts of psychedelics.
Do you think meditation like works?
I want to try it one of these days. Some people say it does. There's like Shaolin monks or whatever that claim that they can experience like DMT level hallucinations and spiritual experiences just by controlling their brain through meditation.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that a lot of these monks that go out there experience that kind of like euphoric, like ego death, like world shattering, game changing experience that enlightens them to the beauty of our universe through meditation. So like that's the whole.
I do feel like an ego death would be required to fully commit to the monk life.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to like realize all the stupid shit we care about in this world, how simple it really is, how meaningless it truly is.
Yep.
And then and only then, I guess you'd have like your enlightenment, I suppose the word would be. That's like kind of the word I want to associate with the word ego death because a lot of people, but ego deaths can be good and they can be bad.
Yeah.
Right? An ego death is not always good. An ego death is just the shattering of your ego. That's all it really is.
Yep.
What
You can either build something better
right.
or
Right.
completely fall apart.
Right, exactly. You can either leave it shattered on the floor or you rebuild. And that's that's the difficult part.
I feel like that rebuilding process is like cuz you're realizing that shit's not that important. You're realizing that you're just this fucking speck in the universe.
Yeah.
And I guess that rebuild process is you choosing what you want to care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's kind of cool. I mean, that's like I remember you read. I don't know if you read that theory. I think it was in that article I sent you, and that the relation of fungus like shrooms to an ego death experience, where an ego death is the breaking down of a material, i.e.,
Oh
your
yeah, like how
ego.
mushrooms are decomposers.
Right, mushrooms
Yeah.
break down things, and then that compound, that soil or whatever, is birthed into something new and full of life. And so that's like one of the whole theories behind mushrooms and their efficacy as medicine.
What a fancy word.
Efficacy, yeah, I like that word. Yeah, as medicine. Like you were talking about how it cures, like, or it has. There's been studies that it cures depression in small amounts, like daily small amounts or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Microdosing shrooms really helps with depression apparently, and it's they found it way better than standard antidepressants because antidepressants, funny enough, have a high suicide rate, like on average.
Yeah.
And they found that shrooms were just easier for people to take other than antidepressants, and they would just like people wouldn't want to commit suicide. It would help their it helps with social anxiety too because of the fluid of conversation and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It just, I mean, it was a cool study to read up on. I wish I like remembered more of it, but I read it last night in like 30 minutes and now I can't remember.
I know shit am able to acquire those, the microdosing capsules.
Yeah.
I was telling you about them the other night. They call them Senzu Beans from Dragon Ball Z. It's
Okay,
like
so you brought up Senzu beans, but I never remembered what they were.
they're like these beans that I don't remember 100%. It's been so long since I've watched Dragon Ball, but they're like they're like these fancy beans that the Saiyans can eat that give them full energy and like heal them, and like and Goku uses them to like fucking recoup.
Okay.
I'll read you the definition of them.
So Senzu bean in our world is a microdosing of shrooms.
I don't know. I think it's just what the guy who makes them calls them. Yeah, sensu beans are mystical beans with immense rejuvenation properties in the Dragon Ball franchise.
Hmm.
When eaten, a person's physical condition is nearly instantly restored to its natural peak. This property makes them immensely useful to carry in battle.
Wow. So like this pro and cons list of microdosing I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You may experience increased feelings of well-being, pro. You may experience increased workflow and productivity, pro. You may experience increased creativity, pro. Microdosing may help may help. It's because they did those studies like way back in the 60s and the 50s before whatever that act was in the 70s. Overcome anxiety and depression. And then like the only con I can see is it's illegal in the United States.
Yeah, that probably is the only con. Dog. Oh,
Carob.
let's see. Let's watch him climb into my pile of clothes. I put a bunch of clothes on top that are like really difficult to get through because I'm in the middle of cleaning my room. There's no way he finds a way in there. There's no way.
He really wants to.
He's pissed. Oh no, he's going for it. Are you going for it, buddy? Are you going up? Okay. He's digging now. All right. He's gonna ruin my shit.
Right.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find it really cool and kind of like obvious that we're discovering that these natural drugs that, have been put on the planet, that we have receptors for in our brain that are like literally only used for those natural drugs, are turning out to be better and more beneficial and easier on the body and less addictive than all the pharmaceutical drugs that have been coming out. How weird. So,
well, the problem is the pharmaceutical drugs that have been made and that are being made guarantee a very specific income for certain parties.
Absolutely, yeah.
And of course, that's their biggest worry. You go into business to make money, not to help people. That's a fucking lie. If anybody tells you that, it's for them to make money.
I think it's China. They have government healthcare, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But they don't like vaping because the government owns the tobacco fields.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they literally have to pay for their citizens dying. They know that the cigarettes are killing them, but because that's like their main source of income,
Yeah, it makes them so much fucking money.
they literally
can't,
just can't stop. Yeah.
they can't give it up.
They can't spend all that money to reform their entire nicotine industry around vaping.
Well, technically, how would we word it? Our government doesn't own the tobacco fields. The tobacco fields own our government.
Pretty much. Yep. Pretty much.
Love that. Love that.
Big pharma, big tobacco own our government.
Big Mac.
Woo. Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah.
What a world. What a wonderful world.
It's crazy to me, like, learning all this shit about, like, vaping, getting into the industry now. Like, about the whole thing about, like, government, healthcare countries having vape shops in their hospitals and stuff. And then over here, they're literally banning it with every bill that comes out, like our newest loophole. Oh, man, he's really going to town.
Yeah,
back
I know.
there.
I'm watching them. They're like they're slowly attacking it, and that's what I feel like they're doing
Give up.
with almost every right we have. Is they're slowly attacking them. Each fucking basic human right. Every fucking amendment to the Constitution, they're just like slowly attacking each one.
Oh, yeah, Biden literally said no amendment is absolute, which is
literally
the most treasonous
tyrannical.
thing. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure back then, if any sort of politician or the president of the United States back then had said something along those lines, he would have been hung within the week. Like,
Yep.
he would have been taken out of office. Like, hey, I know we just fought a 200-year war against a tyrannical government, but I'm feeling a little tyrannical, guys. Like, he would be hung immediately. There's no way. Biden would have already been killed back in those days if he was a president in those times. Like, we were not back then, we didn't put up with shit like that. We
didn't.
We had just formed our first own sovereign free nation. And we just signed in our Declaration of Independence. We're fucking woo, we're ready to go.
We're zooted.
Right, and then some dude comes up and says, no amendment is absolute. I need you to give up all your guns. I need you to put this random drug in your arm, mandating you to do that. Like, nah, bro, that's not at all how that would work. And like this whole argument on gun control is crazy to me. I'm like, I saw an ad on YouTube of some lady like, Governor Kemp's new gun law allows criminals to carry guns more easily in the street. That just doesn't make sense. That's dangerous to our kids, and or like some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
And she was obviously addressing the constitutional carry bill that was just recently passed for Georgia, allowing eligible citizens, right?
Yeah.
Non-felony citizens.
Within legal parameters.
Right, in the United States within legal federal parameters of our United States government, if you are allowed to operate a firearm under those parameters, you can carry it in Georgia without a license. Obviously, it's still down to like the business. If a business doesn't want you to have a firearm in there, they can tell you to fuck off. But anywhere out in general public or in your car or whatever, your work, your business, blah, 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 you can carry a loaded handgun if you're legally allowed to do so.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck does that have to do with the people who acquire guns illegally? I have no idea how that helps them carry guns. Like,
It's just another excuse.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's just another bullshit excuse to try and get votes, to try and scare people against the conservative belief that all Americans should be able to defend themselves and have the right to do so and the right to bear arms. And then, unfortunately, the other side doesn't believe in those rights, and
they don't believe in those rights, but they believe in personal defense. Like, have you seen those TikToks where like some chick will be like, "This is my pepper spray collection"? Have you seen those? Yeah, it's like you carry pepper spray, your homie carries a taser, I carry a 9. You guys want to stop the problem? I want to completely negate it from existence.
And it's funny because like they say your stuff isn't as valuable as a life, you know. Your things aren't as valuable as a life. Or
that's so
why would
fucking
you take
untrue.
a life?
That's
like what?
so fucking untrue.
Right. And I find it so funny that all these leftists are like, why would you take a life? Why would you take a life? And yet they're screaming about the overturning of Roe v. Wade because they want to murder their babies. Yeah. Oh my God.
All the fat chicks that don't get fucked in the first place are going on strike, sex strike.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, listen, like, I get it if you want to believe what you. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for removing yourself from the herd.
You're narrowing the polls. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, I get it. Believe what you want to believe in, but it gets to a point to where what you believe in is so incorrect. I can't but help to tell you you're wrong. It feels unfair to me that I have to correct stupid people.
Yeah.
And when you do, it's the worst thing on the planet. You're fucking shamed. You're shunned.
Yeah.
For speaking your mind. Like that fucking who's that chick at Disney? What did she fucking say? The chick from The Mandalorian?
I don't remember. I didn't watch it. The newest what is it? Season 3 is out now?
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
Or was it in the show? Or are you saying an actor?
No, yeah. She didn't say it in the show. It's like real life. She said some conservative shit, and Disney was like, "You're out."
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's retarded. The whole censorship culture too is just getting out of control.
Yep.
Like the fact that we're legitimately starting to censor things because they might offend people is crazy to me. How much emphasis our country's putting on the fact that people might be offended. It's crazy. Literally never was an issue. The fucking how long has America been? How old is America?
300 something, 200 something.
Yeah, I thought it was 200 something. How old is well, I guess the United States, not America.
What's that? 1776 to 2021.
America is 245 years old. 1776. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. 246.
And then I love seeing like happy birthday United States, and then like the fact of like the average nation lasts this long. And we're like that close.
Yeah, we are. We're literally that close. Like we're following the fall of Rome and like other communistic societies right now, where like one of the very first things that happens amongst the country or amongst the people was a confusion, right? Misidentification of gender, right? Women start dressing as men start dressing as women. Then you have plague, so we had the trans movement, and then we had the COVID movement. Then you're talking about inflation, right? The loss of the value of the currency of the society. Then you're talking food shortages. Then, I mean, we're literally following it to a T, and that's like the fucking scary part.
Yeah. Did you hear like the math and their plan to lower inflation?
Yeah, that they're basically just gonna lower the everybody's wages and to like basically nothing until the prices of stuff naturally lowers or whatever.
Yeah, not necessarily though, because they can't, like, the government can't control wages. That's not their goal. They're gonna increase interest rates. Technically they can based off
minimum.
Yeah, based off what they're doing, but their goal is to raise interest rates. So it's harder for people to be more entrepreneurial, and businesses that are already established, it'll increase costs for them overall. Right. So then those people and those businesses will cut the pay of their employees so they can keep their corporate greed. And then at that point, demand for everything will drop because we're not buying shit because we're not making as much money. And then their goal is prices will drop to match our income.
Yeah, or all small businesses will shut down and big corporations will take over the entire country.
Which is usually like what I think their plan is almost every time they fucking do something. So cool beans.
Yeah, that sounds like a hidden agenda to me. They're gonna basically starve out small businesses because they can't afford to pay their employees. Jobs will be lost. Yeah, the economy will shit. But of course, the only companies that'll still be around are the huge ones: Amazon, Walmart, like the big fucking tycoons of commerce in our society. They're absolutely gonna still be around. and they're going to capitalize on the lack of services available after our economic demise.
Economic demise. I like that. I like that.
I mean, because let's be honest, those companies are the ones that survive. What's the only two car companies that have never? Isn't it like Ford and Tesla, the only two car companies that have never gone bankrupt?
I feel like General Motors hasn't gone bankrupt.
Let's see, only.
That is a cool fact, though. I honestly don't know. You're probably right.
Let's see. Yeah, Tesla and Ford are the only American car companies that haven't gone bankrupt.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
But think about that. Every single car company in the world has gone bankrupt, and there's still, well, almost, and there's still a shitload of them around.
Yeah.
Like Toyota has been around, GMC, Dodge, Ford, Ram, Jeep, like all those companies.
When you're so large and the company itself has so much income, they pay so much taxes. And when that source of income for the government is in threats, I want to say, or in danger, they'll just bail them out. They'll just fucking bail them out. I did want to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've read into it more than I have, but I've seen posts and shit like that about how the Federal Reserve is literally illegal. Have you read anything about that?
I have not.
No.
Can you explain it?
Not really, because I just remember there was a segment of time, like a week straight, where everything on Featured I saw was about the Federal Reserve and how it was illegal, and I just can't fucking remember a single thing.
Why do some people claim the Federal Reserve is unconstitutional? Let's see.
Yes, that's it.
The U.S. Constitution does not mention the need for a centralized bank, nor does it explicitly grant the government the power to create one. Those who adhere to a strict interpretation of the Constitution believe the government does not have any authority, not specifically listed as one of the enumerated powers of Congress. Oh, it does not have any authority, not specifically listed. Okay. Critics also argue the Federal Reserve Bank violates the Constitution by being too closely tied to the private sector, and it lacks transparency and accountability. I mean, I get it.
So it's a pretty much it's an unchecked part of the government.
An unchecked and balanced part of the government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, realistically, we do need an entire reform of our country, our government, our government system, and do we need term limits on? Look, there's a billion fucking things that we could do, and unfortunately, it's so much that needs to be done that we really do need someone like Gandhi or John F. Kennedy, or we need another.
I'll fucking take MLK back, bro.
Yeah, we need Martin Luther King. We need somebody to stand up and pull together people again, and we need some sort of movement,
I feel like back then it was an easier thing to do because there wasn't like a huge sense of communication
or
like,
a secret.
Gandhi couldn't text his homie across the fucking country saying I'm starting a movement, or post it on social media saying I'm starting a movement.
Yeah.
I feel like I see movements all the fucking time. I feel like I see smart people that know that this shit's going like not okay on social media all the time. Like there's a mass amount of people that believe in the same thing, and we all already know each other, but nobody's doing anything about it.
Well, I think
because not like one person claimed it. One person didn't claim it and actually do something about it.
Yeah. We need like Alex Jones or something to form some sort of movement. Like I'd be there. If Alex Jones told me to on this date to be
show up at the Capitol.
Washington, the Capitol, like I'd be there. I would do another like tourist visit like January 6th was. I'd like to go in and take some pictures of the Capitol.
Yeah. If
Not
Alex Jones
insurgent or whatever they're trying to call it.
Literally cops just like escorting teenagers around the Capitol. Nothing crazy.
Like did you see the video of the doors, the maglock doors being opened, and that like it's almost guaranteed that somebody on the inside who had access and to the controls of those doors, like you can see the dude walk
Yeah,
up
he like points at the camera and then,
points
at
at the door, right? And then they're
Yeah.
claiming that he is an undercover FBI, or no, he's a retired FBI informant or some shit like that, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's also a video of him whispering in a dude's ear right before he takes down the barricade,
Yep.
right? And it literally could have been like, I'm so and so, push down the barricade, I'll make you a millionaire. Like it could have been literally that's it, right? And the guy knew the guy's name and was like, "Yep," and he just pushes it over, starts the whole thing because that's like the agenda they want. They want it to look like it was an insurgent takeover, an assault on our nation's capital, but it literally wasn't. It was just people executing their right to stand on the land that they pay for, basically.
I got a short message for Democrats.
Put 40% of their income into. Yeah.
Yeah. My short message for Democrats about January 6th is if you truly believe it was an insurgency to take over the Capitol, I promise you, as conservatives, we would have fucking done it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna
Get scared.
I'll
scared.
I'll let you be in your own belief on that, Nicholas.
Yeah.
I don't break the law or go against my constitution. There is a proper way to do this. Not, violence isn't the answer to everything. I think if
it isn't the answer to everything.
It's not. It's the end all be all is what it is. Violence is the final form of disagreement, right? When you and a dude are arguing in the street, right? Jordan B. Peterson did a whole fucking talk about this, the hierarchy of interaction between a man, right? And how I think it was about how the differences between a man and woman, how when a man is interacting with a man, there's a set line of rules for a disagreement, but whereas a man versus a woman, the woman has all the power in a disagreement. The man is completely powerless in a disagreement. So that was like the whole thing, because there is no end all be all. Whereas with a man, there's that physical discourse, right? Like there's anger, there's disagreement, there's the shove, and then there's the fighting.
Yep.
There's with the woman, there's the anger, there's the disagreement, and then maybe she gets to hit you. And
maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah, and that's like it. That's like all you really get as a man. If you hit that woman, she can wail on you all she wants. We look at the Amber Heard's fucking situation. She can beat the shit out of you. The moment you swing at her once and she just gets unhappy, she could just go to court and fucking sue you for battery or whatever, or some stupid shit like that. And if there's no evidence, they're just gonna believe the woman. 90% of the time, they're gonna believe the woman. So the men just have no power in the situation or in the disagreement there. And I think I don't remember exactly what I was trying to link that to. I kind of went off on a tangent, but you remember what we started talking about? You finished my coffee. I think I'm not awake yet.
Well, I was talking about how, like, if it were to be an actual insurgency, it would have gotten done. That's what I pretty much said.
Right.
Versus them just, like, making a fib.
Oh, yeah, and then I was saying the violence is the last... Yes, yeah. Violence is the last form of disagreement. War, right? Because it's the worst. And you look at our society, anytime war has come into place, right? When war is done, war is done. You get peace for another couple of years before something crazy happens. But yeah, that violence, after all the diplomatic discussions and trying to talk and come to an agreement, the last thing that we have available is violence. So you don't ever want to use your final card, right off the bat. Obviously do as best as we can to save our country, because the last thing we want is another war on our own land, on our own.
Yeah, it would be insanely destructive to everybody's lives.
And
like no one would have a normal work week if we were to have a legit civil war.
Right, and realistically, China would probably attempt to capitalize on our weakness, and
they would probably fund the people that we don't agree with.
That's the crazy part. Is like,
Woo.
could you imagine there are people who absolutely hate America, like who are out there right now who hate America, like
Yeah,
they
China
want it to
number
die,
one.
and they're donating shitloads of money to the Democratic Party right now because they see how much they're fucking up the country. Like, you really
Yes.
think people are like, oh my
Yes.
God, like we've never given money to the United States. Let's start giving money to the Democratic Party and the Biden team. Make it look like they've made peace with us, but in reality, we're just funding their demise of their society. I really
believe it.
do. I really do believe that. Like, I know we talked about fucking Leo and Hank.
Leo and Hank.
Leo
Oh, yeah,
and Tom
yeah,
Hanks
yeah.
doing the fucking giving all that money to. I'm like, damn, dude, that like
Nancy
really
Pelosi.
that really disappointed me. Yeah, that they. It's crazy to me that there are people out there that, like, they agree with certain things. I think that's usually how most people, hopefully most people vote, is they agree on certain things based on their party, and maybe
Yeah.
like some of those things are really really big for them. But
Mhm.
realistically, like, sure, maybe you want less millionaires in the world or something, and you want more of that money spread around, and maybe you want government healthcare. Sure. Like, that's
Yeah.
like your big things, and that's like maybe
Yeah.
what the Dems, like, or whatever party you're voting for believes in or whatever. But is $6 a gallon gas prices like really worth that? Like,
Yeah.
is unstocked supermarkets really worth that? Is like a major
they're voting for an idea that's not
Right.
even coming to fruition.
that's really not even possible. And that's like
Yeah.
that's what the Democratic Party to me is personally, is like they claim that they're going to give this kind of utopian society, right? Create this amazing world and society to live in, and they appeal to the lesser groups, right? Like, they appeal
Yep.
to the BLM movement, they appeal to the LGBTQ movement. Like, they're trying to just suck up as many votes as they can, claiming they're going to get rid of student debt, claiming they're going to fix all these issues with the trans community, claiming blah 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 blah. You know, like when Obama was hired, there were all these black people saying, you know, oh, I ain't gotta work anymore, Obama's gonna pay my bills, you know, like
Dude, that was such bullshit.
yeah,
Oh
there
my
was this
God.
huge, you know, all this belief about this, and they say they're gonna do these things to collect all these votes to get into power, to start to push together their agenda, and then they get into power and they don't do fucking anything. Like,
Yep.
Obama didn't do anything for our country. Like, all he raised inflation, and he instituted like a federal form of like healthcare.
Yeah,
It's
which was
basically-
Obamacare. And from what I've heard, Obamacare is utter dog shit.
And it's like fucking up our economy. So it's really sad that there are people out there who don't see the bigger picture and are just completely, you know, we talk about perspective all the time on this show.
Yeah.
People get very, you know, dialed in on what they want, and they don't see the bigger picture. And I realistically think that that's what makes up the Democratic Party, are the people who are hardcore into that one belief that they're trying to push that'll never happen. You know, either because it is A, impossible, or B, they're just completely lying to you, period, which has been proven that they do constantly and consistently.
Literally.
It's just gross. It's just gross. Let's not have a political episode.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we just did.
Yeah,
to
it
be
just
honest,
turned into
where
a
are we?
political episode.
45. I mean, that was 30 solid minutes.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's go for an hour here. Did you have anything else? Let's finish up the discussion on the psychedelics here. Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about our psychedelic? Man, we already had an episode called Psychedelic Politics, dude. This episode is literally Psychedelic Politics Part 2.
Politics psychedelic.
I'll just name it Psychedelic Politics Part 2. Sure, dude.
That's fine. That works. That works.
Yeah.
It's a series. That's what we'll do. We'll trip on whatever, and then we'll just rage.
Okay, yeah, cool, yeah. The day after we trip, we'll talk about our society.
Oh,
That's what we'll do.
Awesome.
We'll take shrooms and ponder our world and our society, and then
That's
we'll
what we
bring our
should take notes on.
ideas.
Yes,
that'd be
yes,
cool.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I did like though how, back to the shroom experience.
Yeah.
You were so tense and so worried and, like you said, uncomfortable. You had like a goal in mind. That was something that I didn't find it funny, but I did think like it also took part in you not getting there. You know what I'm saying?
What, like having the goal made me or anxious? Is that what you're trying to say?
Kind of, but not necessarily. Like it was harder for you to give into it because you were so focused on like completing that goal, attaining that goal.
Maybe. I don't know. It was weird. I don't remember exactly the point at which I remember believing that it was because I stopped trying to figure out like what was making me uncomfortable, but in actuality, I never really did.
Yeah.
I never throughout the entire experience, it was realistically it was only until like I really started to feel like I was coming down. Like did I start to kind of calm down truly and recenter myself and have none of that kind of jitteriness there.
Yeah.
Um
There was one point where like you just I mean I told you I was like you're being too serious about it. Just have fun with it, and you did.
Yeah, I did at one point say like, now that I stopped kind of like trying to think about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like again, I don't know if I necessarily did. It was just something happened where like something just switched in the experience where all of a sudden this feeling of negativity that I had. I don't know how else to describe it other than just a presence of negativity, like a looming presence of negativity,
Mhm.
just like faded away. It was almost physical too. Like it was almost a physical sense of
You
negativity.
felt the weight lifted.
Right. As soon as and it was almost like the body high left as well. Like the body
Yeah.
high disappeared and I felt better too. I remember that absolutely because I remember when you asked me about the body high and it was basically gone. I was like, yeah, I mean the body high is basically gone and I don't feel that uneasiness anymore. And so it did feel like a physical weight was lifted off of me. And that makes me think if maybe I did have some sort of physical reaction to the mushrooms or something or the ginger, so who knows.
Yeah.
And that did give me something physical that I was feeling, and because I was on the shrooms that felt amplified and as if it was part of the experience, when in reality I literally could have just been feeling a weirder form of nausea that
Maybe.
I didn't feel was nausea but was, or something, or maybe it was like this weird feeling I have right now that I sometimes get where it's like my body's just tired, right? Maybe I was
Yeah.
tired, I don't know.
Mhm.
It could have been a whole bunch of things because feelings and emotions on psychedelics are amplified like tenfold. So
Yeah.
it could have just been a simple negative feeling that I had that was just in the background of the whole experience and I just couldn't take my mind off of it, and it wasn't until like the feeling went away that I could truly relax.
Yeah.
Who knows? But that's why I was trying to analyze it the entire time. I was trying to figure out what was causing it because I wanted to fucking laser it away, bro. I wanted to zap that bitch gone so I could next time into the shrooms know.
Yeah. I
like-
mean,
like-
I get the idea behind that, but I feel like you spent so much time on it.
It's what you got to do. It's hard.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, man. Like you do what you got to do.
We can't
I
live.
get
We
it.
can't truly live until we've died a little, right?
Oh,
Pain
yikes.
is fortune teller and
What is this? What is
pain is damn, what's the thing? Pain is history teacher and fortune teller. Pain teaches us who we really are.
really?
Yeah, and I can't remember what the damn, let's see. Pain
Pain is both history teacher and fortune teller. It's a Deadpool quote.
Yeah, it's from the old lady from Deadpool. It's a great quote. Just because it's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Deadpool doesn't mean you shouldn't read it out. Read it out.
Let's see. Magicalquote.com, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yep, the blind owl in Deadpool said, "Listen to the pain. It's both history teacher and fortune teller. Pain teaches us who we are. sometimes it's so bad we feel like we're dying, but we can't really live a little until we've died a little, can we? Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's true. Again, that relates back to that ego death style of experience. Some people, go into people who come out or people who do these 5-MeO DMT trips or these ayahuasca trips, they'll come into this experience with this just great pain and agony. Just this overwhelming or maybe even it's some sort of trauma or pain that they've suppressed that's been hurting them for so long, but they've just had to deal with it for so long that it's become their normal. And then they go out and do these ayahuasca trips or these 5-MeO DMT retreats, and they just have this profound realization where their entire existence as a whole shatters and is rebuilt into something more efficient, better oiled, just a better working machine in general. And so that quote as what has been trying to also push me to do psychedelics and to like not be scared of things as much, right? Another one is most good things sit on the other side of fear. Right. So I don't know, I'm trying to like live by those two, because sure, the pain sucks, but if one of my
if you fear the pain, you won't get to the other side.
Right, exactly. And one of my other favorite quotes from one of my favorite shows, The Punisher, Marvel's The Punisher. Pain is temporary.
Pain is temporary.
Pain is temporary.
And the baggage you hold from the pain goes back to that glass of water theory that you were mentioning. I think it was last episode, literally, when you said it.
Maybe,
just the glass weighs a certain amount, but it gets heavier the longer you hold it.
Yep.
Pretty much. That's the whole concept.
Yep. The weight of the glass never changes.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you hold it for an hour, your arm will shake. If you hold it for 4 hours, you'll tremble. If you hold it for 6 hours, you'll barely be able to hold it up. It just gets heavier and heavier to you the longer you hold on to it. So
the concept of that and the way I read that is just like you're dedicating so much energy to it when you could just drop it. It's a glass of water. You just let it go. Drink it for all I care.
It's interesting. The mind is such an interesting, construct, something we still don't truly understand.
I definitely think I'm ready for a higher dose though.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Let me know. I'll get some. I'll see what he's got, cuz like there are, just like marijuana, there are different strains of mushrooms. Like
I really do like the tea thing we did though. I don't believe I would be able to handle just straight eating them. I'm not looking forward to just munching dirt. I really am not.
It's not good. Yeah, that's probably going to be your preferred method for the rest of your days for sure. It's the nicest one I've ever had.
I'm very glad that was my introduction. I feel like if I did do straight dirt shrooms first, I would have appreciated the tea like way more.
Yeah.
But I still really like the tea tasted great. That's the thing. Like, it was a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, lemon ginger tea kind of slaps.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, let's start closing it off, but I want to do something cool here. I found a really cool list. 101 great conversation starters. I would say these are just some cool questions. Maybe we'll just do a couple of these at the end of each episode.
Okay.
So let's because I know some of these like we don't
Are they some topics that you and I don't necessarily touch up on?
Yeah, like we haven't really touched up on a lot of these.
That's good.
So shit, let's just start it
I like knowing you better, buddy. I love you.
Right. Well, this one is pretty. Let me see. This one is pretty easy. Number 1, where did you grow up?
We grew up together in the same area.
Yeah, don't really like say the area, but yeah, we both grew up in Georgia. So
yeah,
public school the whole time. Never went to a private school. I did kindergarten or pre-K. I did pre-K. Did you do pre-K, or were you like a daycare thing, or?
I did. Oh God, They like my parents told me I did pre-K, but the memories I have, like it was definitely just fucking daycare. Like I don't think I legit went to pre-K.
Well, I think that's like kind of like what. Did you learn anything though? That's the thing.
No,
No,
no.
okay,
from
yeah.
from what I can remember, like all I remember is like going to a church and watching VeggieTales on a VHS.
Nice. I remember.
That's what I remember.
My pre-K was pretty lit. Do you remember? You know the excuse me. How do I say this without giving away its location? The road with the road your mom lives on.
Yep.
Okay. You drive it all the way past the road that leads to my place, right?
Yes.
Right, with the Publix on your right. Keep going
Yep.
all the way down, come around that bend.
Mhm.
You know the pre-K right there on the right?
Right before the neighborhood I used to live in.
No. What, are you talking about the neighborhood that your mom currently lives in?
No, the one my dad used to live in. The one like I actually grew up in.
Oh,
The gated one.
the SM? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it before that or after that?
It's before that.
Okay, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I think.
Where they added 3 lanes and the third lane on the right turns into a turning lane, the neighborhood before.
Yes. Here's the name. I just sent it to you.
Because I know there's 2 over there. There's one before it and the one. So that's after it because our neighbors owned that.
It's like. Are you sure? I thought it was before, or maybe you're right. Maybe the one. It's the one that's
after
like.
that.
It is.
Yeah, it's right before that group of offices and the pizza place on the left side.
Yeah, before Alessio's and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
that's the one. Our neighbors in SM owned that, and
Okay.
we were friends with their kids.
Okay.
I didn't go to something like that.
That's where I went, and there they did actually like teach us something for like an hour, but the rest of the experience was like outside on the
Fucking
playground.
around.
Yeah.
Fucking around.
And they had computers with Spyro installed, like the very first Spyro, 3D Spyro.
Yeah.
Dude, that was my shit, dude.
Dude, that was like PlayStation 1 Spyro.
Yeah.
I used to play that game, but I played it at my grandma's house because our granddad had a PS1.
It was, I think, legitimately the first video game I ever played was Spyro. I think. I can't remember, but I think.
I may be in the same boat.
Interesting.
I vividly remember a shittily rendered big blue dragon. Is that something you remember?
Purple.
Purple? Well, Spyro is purple, but I'm talking about like one of the dragons you interact with in the game.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of there were a bunch of dragons. Yeah. No, I remember a ton. I remember the first time I jumped off of something and was gliding. Like I remember that was awesome to me.
Yes.
I remember like picking up the gems and thinking that was super cool. Yeah, it was one of the craziest like video games ever. And then I think, I don't know, that probably stemmed my excitement for video games was doing that. I really want to see if I can think a little harder and see if I can remember if I had, because I don't think in pre-K I had any sort of like Game Boy or anything like that.
No,
so.
I definitely didn't. That was way
Yeah.
too young for me. I remember I remember going to our grandparents very young, and I remember that he had the PlayStation 1 in the bunk bedroom that Mitchell and I would hang out in and spend the night in, and I would play Spyro on that. I would play I can't remember which fighting game they had, but it was similar to Street Fighter.
Is it like
They
Bloody
had-
Roar?
Maybe I can't remember.
Bloody Roar might have been a console
Or Tekken.
Xbox
It could have
only.
been Tekken.
Could have been Tekken, yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure those were the only games I played on that PlayStation 1. And then later on, he got a 360,
Ooh.
and Mitchell and I would play Halo 3.
Ooh, yeah, classic.
And I mean, like we never did like the campaign or anything like that, but we did like 1v1 each other. And Mitchell was like 4 years younger than me, so he would get like outrageously pissed off and freak out if he wasn't winning. But after that was when I got my ears stapled to my head and I was bedridden for 2 weeks over Christmas break, and that's when my uncle gave me his GameCube, and that's really when it like kicked off.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was
GameCube.
playing like Mario Kart, Smash Bros, Animal Crossing. I was playing so much fucking shit on the game. I had a Bionicle game at one
Ooh,
point.
I did
Yeah.
too. I did too.
Yeah,
had it
I
on
think
my
I think
Game
we
Boy.
talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have a GameCube, but my neighbor Mary Catherine had one, and she used to
Yeah.
bring it over all the time. And like hands down, my favorite game on the GameCube is Kirby Air Ride. You remember that game?
I never had a Kirby game. I had a Kirby game. I had a Kirby game on my Game Boy. So like after I had my GameCube for a couple years, they got me the folding Game Boy. It was
Yeah.
silver. Is that the Game Boy Color?
Was it like the bulbous one? Like it was kind of fat. It wasn't slim.
No,
Like
it was fairly slim.
Was it the SP then? What color was it?
It was silver.
Silver. Yeah, it
But
must
they
have been
came
that.
in a bunch of different colors.
Yeah, like a light blue and a baby pink and like
a
black,
deep red, a deep
yeah.
blue, a black,
It
a
was just
silver.
like the square folding one.
Yeah, the square
Yeah,
folding
that's
one.
the SP, I believe.
Okay,
You're talking
okay.
about the Game Boy SP, Game Boy Advance
Okay.
SP. Yeah, because the Game Boy was the brick one.
Yeah.
Right? The Game Boy Color was a bigger brick one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the Game Boy Advanced, which was the one with the triggers, and it
Yeah,
was
it
like,
looked like a PSP.
right, kind of like a PSP. Yeah, and then the Game Boy Game Boy Advance SP came out, and it was like the slimmer, smaller, more compact version with the
Yeah.
nice screen light and the speakers.
But what blew my mind when I got my Game Boy was my first game was like OG Pokemon Yellow. Like in the extended cartridge, and it was black and white, and it was like
Nice.
the most phenomenal experience I've ever had
Yeah,
on my Game Boy.
that was my second Game Boy game. My first Game Boy game was Pokemon Silver because
Mm.
my brother Mike had a Game Boy SP, and I remember I think I fucking threw it down the stairs at one point. I was such a little shit. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he had a Game Boy SP, and I think he ended up leaving his Pokemon Silver at my place.
and you were like, "Wow, this is mine now."
Yeah, I just took it. He never asked for it back. I don't even think he knew it was gone. Carrots, you don't need that. That's coffee.
I'm pretty sure when I was younger, I was definitely a kleptomaniac.
I stole a little bit. Like I didn't steal a crazy amount.
I stole a lot of shit when I was younger. It wasn't like anything of like intense monetary value. Like I
Right.
wouldn't go grocery shopping with my mom and just like grab something and put it in my fucking pants. It wasn't anything like that. It was like I would go over to a cousin's house. I would go over to a friend's house, or someone would come over to my house, and like they'd leave something or they wouldn't be watching, and I'd just be like, okay, this is cool, so it's mine now.
Damn, you'd steal from like friends and family. That's brutal.
I stole Game Boy games from my cousins. I stole a fuck ton of Legos, but I would steal them like piece by piece. Like I would steal a
I
Lego
need one
head.
of those. Yeah, I need one of those pieces.
I'd steal a Lego head. I'd steal like an L bracket. I would steal stupid shit that I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, this is cool. I haven't seen this before. Shove it in my pocket.
Wow.
I would just add to my shitty collection of mismatched pieces that wouldn't be able to build anything specific.
I was never that bad. Like the worst thing I stole was Pokemon Diamond from a special needs kid in my after school class in elementary school.
Who's that? That reminds me of who's that Asian guy on that podcast sometimes? He probably has his own podcast, but the clip that's reminding me of is like, I was sexually assaulted by a guy with Down syndrome at one point. And the other two guys just immediately start laughing.
Oh, Bobby Lee.
And he's like, yeah, Bobby Lee. He's like, no, this is serious. I'm going to give you a second to get it out.
Yeah, yeah. And then he goes back and goes, I'm gonna say it again. When I was young, I was brutally raped. He adds brutally, and they just skyrocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Bobby Lee and Theo Vaughn, hands down, is my favorite like comedic combination. Those two going back
Are they
and
on
forth.
shit together? Like
yeah.
Okay.
Like I think Bobby Lee has his own podcast that he does with his wife, I believe. And dude, Bobby Lee's crazy. Like not like he's actually insane, but like he's done crazy shit. Like he's got like one of the craziest lives ever. Like he will openly talk about like how he fillets dudes, like or whatever he does, you know, like crazy shit. Like, oh yeah, I filleted a dude for. Same thing with like Theo. Theo's like the words that just come out of Theo's mouth are just crazy to me. Like
he's like, what was that? I remember that one clip where he's like, people in my hometown think I beat Down syndrome.
yeah. He's like, or no, he goes, they're talking about Down syndrome, and he goes, I beat it. And everyone's like, what? He's like, yeah, there's a a rumor around my hometown that I beat Down syndrome. And he's like, which is inspiring because I didn't even know I had it. And I'm like, damn, Theo. He's like, I don't even think he tries either. I think like, because a lot of times he'll say something fucking hilarious, and he'll just like,
he'll just be like, damn, that I didn't mean for that to be funny.
Right, and sometimes you'll see him just like look over at like the producers or whatever of the podcast he's on, like trying to figure out like why people are laughing or whatever.
Yeah. Did I cue something?
Did I say something funny? And it's like, I don't think he even really tries. I think that's just like who he is. So,
which is like the peak of a comedian.
Right.
It's like when you do whatever you say is funny.
Yeah. Like what's his name? Jara Starvos, the one of the hosts of the Cumtown podcast.
I'm not familiar with the Cumtown podcast.
What's his name? He's like that heavier set dude with the mullet, and he's usually got a mustache. The comedian. He's been featured on iFunny a ton of times.
What's his name?
Starvos Halkais. STAVROSHALKIAS.
I've never seen this guy before.
100% you've seen him. He's been featured a lot on iFunny. He's actually like pretty damn hilarious. He's got a really good laugh. You should I'll see if I can find some good clips. He pops up in my shorts on YouTube all the time.
No, for real, like I've not seen this guy.
Weird. That's funny. He's been featured a lot.
Well, you gotta realize that like both of us are not really good at keeping up with features.
Yeah, so, mine's almost always at 900 plus.
Yeah, there's thousands that I literally have not seen.
Which is one of my favorite things about iFunny, is that like you and I can straight up like look at the feature the same day. And once we get through like the solid 60 that they release in that day, then it just like shuffles
we can see
back
completely
through
different shit. Yeah.
All right, well let's do this one more question because I gotta start getting ready to go to work. I gotta take a shower, take my dogs out again.
I gotcha.
Oh yeah, apparently my family's coming home today, which I didn't know. So
sick.
Yeah, I texted my sister last night because I was like, my Olivia texted me and asked,
you didn't want to make it so obvious by asking them.
Well, no, she's like, are you working in JC tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I'm up in DV. And she goes, or she doesn't respond. And then I think about it because the list where the dog sitter was scheduled on Saturday, it said that I would take care of the dogs.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, shit, I work till 8. So either the sitter's not coming or they're coming home today. So I text him and I say, are you guys coming home tomorrow? I saw that mom didn't schedule the sitter.
Yeah.
And she goes like at 11:45. She's like, yes, we are. And I'm like, and you remember the state of the place.
Yeah.
When you left. So I was like,
so did you clean a little bit more last night?
I did.
Yeah.
I went to bed at like probably 1:30.
Oh my God. You're going to have a long day, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I'll have another cup of coffee when I get to work. And I'm honestly just going to slap this into the editing software, attach the intro and outro, sync up the audio, and send it. And then I'm probably just going to lay in the chair all day and just watch movies.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Yep. Okay, last one.
Yes.
Do you have any pets? I guess you can also talk about. We can also extend it to like, what pets did you have?
Our first cat when my parents were still married was a kitty, and she died locked in my bathroom.
Oh.
when the house was struck by lightning and the whole house burned to the ground. After that, my parents got divorced and my mom wanted another cat. So we got Rosie. And then after that, my dad got remarried and they got a dog named Wrigley. And Wrigley was awesome. Wrigley was fantastic. And then after that, my mom just started collecting fucking cats like a crazy person.
Like a cat lady.
Yeah, so my mom has, I can't remember the exact number. I can if I name them off, but I'm not going to do that. Like close to 10 cats. And then I had Gobble myself when I planned on moving out. And then that got delayed, and then I actually brought him with me, and then he died.
Yeah, I remember when he got sick.
Yeah, he got uber sick. And I was like, bro,
Yeah.
what's your problem? He just kept laying there, and I was like, all right, we'll go to the ER. Fine.
Yeah. I had my first animal was a fish. My first
Nice.
pet was a fish.
Nice. Oh, I
Yeah.
had hermit crabs. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. My mom fucking hated them.
Yeah, Olivia and I, as our first pet, we got him together. Olivia, my sister, and I, as our first pet. We went to, I think it was either Walmart or PetSmart. I can't remember. Probably
Yeah.
PetSmart. And we got some fish. And I got like I can't remember, some purple fish with like big, large fins and fat eyes because I thought it was funny looking.
Yeah.
And I think Olivia got just a regular old goldfish. And we had him for, it felt like a couple of months. It couldn't have been longer than that before my fish's right eye just started to grow larger and larger and larger and larger. And we tried like water treatment and stuff like that and feeding him a different food and stuff until one day I woke up and went to go look at my fish and his eye had exploded and he was just like dead.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh man. Yeah. So
That's so sad.
they took my fish and I guess flushed him down the toilet. And then, man, I can't remember because they thought it was unfair, I guess, that my fish died and Olivia's fish was still alive. So
They killed Olivia's fish too.
they told Olivia that they took her fish to like one of the neighbors who had a pond or something and let it go in the pond.
Wow.
But they probably just flushed him down the toilet. I don't
Yeah.
I feel like they told me that, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then after that we got Carob. There he is over there in the corner. You can just see the top of him there. He's like 16 years old now. Something like that.
Ancient.
Yeah, he's ancient. He's got sores all over his body and like or like liver spots or whatever, like old spots, age spots. I don't know what to call them, but
Yeah.
his fur is getting all thin and shit like that. But he's a good boy. And then about a year and a half after that. Oh, she's not even in here. We got Miley. We rescued her. Yeah, we got Carob. I think he was from a shelter, but we might have just bought him straight up because we got him as a puppy, like a really like a baby. And then yeah, Miley we rescued because one of our childhood friends, like our childhood family friends, who babysat me all the time, she came across a litter of dogs and had one that was abused, which was Miley. And like we originally weren't really gonna get her because she was like kind of ratty and skittish and like she wouldn't even come up the stairs, like loud noises she would freak out and hide under stuff. Like she still kind of has stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we weren't really gonna get her, but we figured like Carob would need somebody to like play with or something throughout the day or blah blah blah. So we went ahead and got her, and it took her years to like become okay like with living in the house before she would even like walk up the stairs while anybody was even remotely near them, because we assumed she had been kicked down the stairs, something like that. She even had a fear of heights too.
Yeah.
Like when we would go to, let's say, like a hotel resort and we would stay on like the 10th floor, and there'd be like the railing with the drop, she would hug the wall.
Yeah.
Like she would literally rub the side of her body against the wall trying to stay away from the railing. Because I don't know, maybe she fell or like she got kicked downstairs or some shit like that. I don't know. So she had been really, really poorly treated. Yeah. But now she's like the perfect dog. She's a cuddle machine. You know, other than the fact that she's like doesn't give a fuck now, and every time I take her out, she like wanders through the neighborhood if I don't watch her. Yeah, but she's becoming Carob's completely deaf and blind, and then Miley, I can see the cloudiness forming in her eyes, so I think she started to get blind, and I think her hearing's going too, because like I'll call her, and she'll just like start running around the house trying to find me. She can't locate sound where it's coming from. So yeah, but that's it. That was all my pets. I love dogs, man. Dogs are too pure for this world.
I agree. They're very nice. I would definitely want to get another dog, but not until like later.
Yeah, if we ended up moving in together, we would totally get a house animal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I would assume like maybe one of us would just take primary ownership, like whoever wanted it. But
like
it would
you
be
could
like,
get a dog and I could get a cat.
right, yeah, or something like that. And it would be like the house responsibility. Like everybody would take care of all
Pitch
the
in.
animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
That's what I would do. Because I love animals. They just add a different vibe to a house. They add like a certain element that nothing else really brings.
It's just a sense of comfort, another
Right.
sense of home in the home.
Right.
Yeah, I gotcha.
All
right.
Let's close this off. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you for listening. Episode 39. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Definitely. If you're watching us on the tubes, check us out on Spotify or iTunes if you want to go on the go. If you're listening to us on the go, check us out on YouTube. You can see a video podcast if you want more of a visual type experience going on. You can also find everything on our website, anxietypool.com. Thank you very much.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in.
We love you.
Sleep well. Get some rest. You deserve it. Yep. Okay. It's getting to that point to where I'm just going to stop recording. Yeah.